Biology of Manifestation is amazing. I remember going through when Vicky originally created this way back when, or portions of this way back when, for masters, and I was so in love with what we did around the toroidal field and the auric bodies. I was just like, ooh, I love this so much. So, and it was just a little chunk of information at that time. And so to see what BMN evolved into it's amazing. It's so comprehensive, and it's also one of those things that, like Vicky does, she really broke down a lot of that law of attraction thing, which is not like, it can be kind of out there sometimes, but Vicky, what you did in Biology of Manifestation is you just made it so real and tangible and understandable. Yeah.
I have Lexi's cheerleading, mentoring magic to thank for that, because there is so much elusive information about how we manifest and the whole secret on the LOA and the self-fulfilling prophecies. Like, there's a lot of talk, and I don't know if there is every piece of the manifestation puzzle really made sense for me. So Lexi, I think you were one of the people who first said Vicky brings these really esoteric ideas into like practical form so we can do something about it, which is great, because that's what you needed. And that's what I didn't even know how to do until I started questioning, why would people need to know this practical thing? Like, don't you just do it?
Yes. And I think that that's like one of my favorite things about this is you still maintain that magic that is always purely Vicky's, that comes through in each one of your courses in very different ways. And so you're clearly tapped into something so much greater. And yet at the same time, the way to tap into that is very practical. So people can get on board, even those big skeptics, and it takes this elusive manifestation process that everyone seems to be talking about, and it seems so freaking vague and like, oh yeah, like these are like the high level principles and this is what you do. And it's like, okay, but like, actually, how do I practically really do this in an everyday life? And in this instance and that, and so you do such a beautiful job of breaking this down to like the most basic fundamentals. And there's a lot inside of here too. So it's not just fluff. It is pure, juicy goodness.
Practicalities. And I'm going to do a really simple, like basic rundown of kind of every lesson, essentially. Alexia's like, oh no. And I'm going to use it as an example. What happened? I had an inspired idea. It was like 2:00 in the morning, like 6 years or so. And I just started like stream of consciousness writing, spark of inspiration came in. Then I visualized, what would that look like? I can see why that would be helpful. I started talking about it, right? Like with this idea. And then I started researching it and found that there was a whole book on it. And I'm like, whoa, cool. I just got that idea. And someone else had the idea. They're like, this is a thing. I talked about it and then I brought it into my hand. And I'm like, is this really, really what I want to do? Like, do I love this so much that I'd want to bring it out into the world? Yeah, it is. So now I have to act on it. Holy shit. Have I got the confidence and the courage to now act on it and make sure that I have people who are also investing in all of that? And then have I got the passion that's going to sustain me for long enough to fuel this project and actually bring it out into the world? And then do I have the environment or the conditions for this spark of inspiration to thrive? Tabwoo was the environment and the vehicle for this inspired idea back in 6 years ago to be birthed into the world. Boom, manifestation process 101. There you had it.
I'm impressed.
And now everyone's like, why was she doing this? I'm like, you got to do the course and now you find out. I think like all the info that you can read online shares more about it. Yeah, you'll get it.